What's the most embarrassing / cringy thing you've accidentally shown someone? Or something they accidentally saw while using your phone or computer? Not exactly accidental, but when I was 15 my mom was snooping through my phone and found a text that said, "I wish I could have a girl with boobs so big I could suffocate in them." That was a cool fun time for me. What was her reaction? "Son, you know I have double D's, right?" Hush now son. Mommy will break your arm so. I was kind of on the flip side of this when my uncle was going through pictures of my baby cousin on his phone and swiped too far to show me a picture of my auntie standing completely naked in a doorway. The image is still burned into my mind. Oh man, that's traumatizing lol. At least it was not his dad. Why would his uncle have naked pics of his dad? Way back when I was playing a bunch of World of Warcraft. This was back when people were making funny machinima YouTube videos constantly, and I had them downloaded to my computer so I could show my friends. Then one day, I set up a very early version of Plex, video streaming software, on my computer, and I hook up my TV for a small party. Little did I know, Plex scans your media library and then runs out to the internet to find a cover image that Plex *THINKS* matches your movies, so that you have a thumbnail to click when you want to watch that video. For some of my WoW YouTube videos, it found pictures of orcs and elves fucking, and threw that up on the screen. The girl I liked at the party, what the fuck is that? Me. Borderline speechless. I have no fucking idea. Smooth lol. Was talking to some cute girl. It was going well, and gave her my phone to add me on Facebook. Her profile was the first profile on the recent Facebook searches. I was out of curiosity checking out my friend's GF on Facebook, like not stalking her or sexualizing her. I met her once. She seemed nice. Wanted to see what she was all about. My friend knocked on my door and I answered, and he came in my room and I just was not thinking about what I was doing, because it was harmless. Then he saw my screen and was like, "Who the fuck are you checking out my photo?" Edit. We laughed about it. He knew I was not trying to double dip, but it was an awkward moment. I was helping a man with some kind of intellectual impairment download a Bible app onto his phone. I had to go into his browser to search something for him, and it was all porn. About 50 tabs open, each showing what term he'd put into Google, and the search terms were the kind that a 10-year-old would use. I finished getting him the app and attempted to peace out, although not before having to tactfully decline giving him my phone number. Old people are so blissfully ignorant when they finally learn how to use a snippet of technology. It's hilarious. My oldest brother was like that for the longest time. Dude I used to lift with, his phone is face up on the floor next to the bench bar. Literally every day at the gym she'd be texting pics of everything. What's funnier is she'd be texting him, "Come home to have this," and he'd just keep lifting. It was odd. "Sorry babe. Pecs need to be poppin', so the panties keep droppin'. But, you already have a girlfriend. /*lifts /*. My partner showed his friend some pictures from a vacation years ago, and he scrolled too far back, and he accidentally showed them my nudes. I was 5 feet away and died. The fact you were standing right there makes it 10 times worse. Lol. Handed my mom my phone to show her a picture of something or other. Did not think. Next thing I know, she starts swiping. You need to stop. Right now. Swipe. Why? I never get to see your pictures. Swipe. Stop. Attempt to grab phone. Look of horror on mama's face. Of course I have pictures of my dick on there. My mother-in-law does this. Whenever I want to show her something I slightly zoom in on the image and it just moves it around instead of going to the next one. I have since learned of guided access on iPhone. A triple click of the home button, and the screen is disabled until you put in a passcode. I hit that button every time I hand my phone to anyone now. Edit. For those with fancy pants new phones. https://www.google.com/search source equals hpndi equals 4xgc83ctqbzoacabq and q equals guided plus access plus iphone plus 11. In my younger years working in desktop support, we had a guy complaining that his computer was running slow. It was literally full of horse porn. This was back in the 90 MHz Pentium days and long before people had anything better than a 57.7 baud modem in their house. I had to show my boss and point out that obviously this guy was using company bandwidth. We had a fractured T1 at the time that we paid out the nose for to download non-work related material onto his company laptop. Clearly in the office. This was also the same dude who got caught putting breast milk in his coffee. So there may have been a few issues there. The same dude who got caught putting breast milk in his coffee. Was this his partner's milk that he borrowed? Or was he stealing from coworkers pumping at work? Because one of these is way more wrong. If you have any stories, please share them in the comments section below. A friend was showing us his holiday pictures and accidentally swiped too far and showed us all a selfie of his asshole, then one of his balls. When he tried to fix it, I'm more curious who the hell he was planning on sending that to. LMAO. Well, he had no girlfriend at the time, so we asked the same. His excuse was it was a joke to send to a friend. Come on bro, you don't send that to a friend. Oh man. He'd never live that down in my friend group, lol. It guy here. Way back in the day I was using Netscape, which had this feature of popping up the last site you were on. I believe this was default. Anyways, I had legitimately been doing some research on hacking since I was the administrator for a small web hosting company, so of course the sites I hit were chock full of pop-up ads with porn. So some Monday my boss and another woman, I think she was basically the EA, wanted to look at something on my computer, so I go sure. NP. Fire up Netscape and bam. Up pops like 8 chicks in a line all giving blowjobs. I was pissed. Luckily they believed my story, I think, but still. Embarrassing. Other than that, nothing. I'm not stupid enough to use a work phone or computer to look at art. Also LPT. If you're attached to your work VPN, don't be browsing the naughty bits. One of the first thing I did when we had to start working from home was to set my personal computer and work computer to have different backgrounds/desktops, so I would not accidentally use the wrong machine. I have two laptops both wired into my monitors, so it would be an easy mistake to make, since I used to use the same background/aesthetic for both machines. That would be when my sister saw my VAG. We recently reconnected. We had been estranged because of my absolutely insane mother. We were laughing, talking, just generally catching up on 20 years of life. And of course we were showing one another pictures of our families/houses/friends. I thought, oh, I'll pull up Google Photos, because then she can just open albums and see each person or whatever all at a time, and I forgot that one of the albums is called Naughty, and Google Photos chose a very naughty pic for the album cover despite my begging it to choose another. I had the app open to an album of kid pics. When I handed it over, she closed the album, swiped to see what other albums she wanted to look at, and I heard, oh. She told her fiancé we got to know one another really well in that first meeting. I already touched on that, lol. Google Photos really needs to fix their shit, hahaha. Like allow albums to be password protected with no thumbnails. Right. It's almost enough to make me stop, you see. Who am I kidding? I'm their puppet. Good damn it. Sexy pics of me in lingerie, meant for my BF. My mom saw them scrolling through pics from a trip I took. Oh man, lol. How'd she react to that? It was super awkward, and she was just like Arut and asked why I had those. Then she was cool and said Arutava. It is not my business. I just don't want to see it or imagine it. Oh. I had sent nudes to a guy I was dating. This was before I realized Google Photos saved everything. I proceed to delete everything from my phone and think I'm in the clear. Well, my ex logged into my Google Photos and saw I was sending nudes and freaked the fuck out. I thought he had downloaded some hacker shit onto my phone. I figured it out, eventually. Older man caught me looking at boobs on my phone during a bus ride home. I quickly scrolled up, realizing that I was in public. He leaned over and said, hey, we can share. Got off 3 stops before my own. The guy probably thought it was hilarious. Had the minister of my church at my house. He wanted to upload music from his laptop onto my Zoom. Tells you when this was. He turns it on and the Zune immediately displays a topless picture of my fiancée, a girl he's known since birth, having been best friends with her parents. He just clears his throat and says, "I didn't see that." The rest of my time with him that day was incredibly awkward, but he never brought it back up again. Father-in-law was looking at photos on my phone with me. I got a text from my wife that said, "I've been a naughty bitch. You need to come home and slap my ass." I turned to him and said, "What kind of daughter did you raise?" I learned that day. A turn off preview. 3. Do not joke about a man's daughter. Lol. Please tell me you told her about it. In this case, I actually didn't. And he laughed after I said that. We didn't exactly high five, but he's pretty chill about the world. It makes for a funny story though. He's a good man, lol. I shared a link to my photographer friend's website on Facebook. After she and I did a project together, I body painted some models. She took the photos. What I forgot was that there was also a page of nude photos of me from a photoshoot I had modeled for. I'm not exactly shy about nudity, but I also didn't mean to show off those pics to everybody I knew. I also once sexted nudes and dirty requests to my dad instead of my BF in a drunken mistake. My best friend convinced my girlfriend to prank me by putting up this really oddly sensual photo of a female Dino character doing push-ups as the photo that pulls up on my computer when you restart it. After I was initially shocked, I actually didn't care and didn't bother to change it back. But do you know who did care? My sister. Edit. Because so many people wanted to see it. https://i.imga.com/3cmto6.jpg. You are now required by Reddit law to post said image. I hope my dad didn't see, but a message from FWB popped up saying something like, "I miss fucking you, slut." This one's a double whammy. Last year I was rear-ended very bad. I was in the process of moving, so I had lazily left some stuff in the trunk and back seat. In the back seat there was like trash bags of clothes, boxes of DVDs/game/PC hardware, etc. There was also the big paper Victoria's Secret bag that I kept all my sex toys in, because the dude that hit me was doing nearly 80 and I was at a complete stop. Everything that wasn't in a trash bag exploded and went everywhere. So when the police arrived to search my car, I guess to make sure I wasn't drinking, since I'd been at a dead stop on the freeway. Long story LMAO. They were greeted with a vast array of random things, including my stash of sex devices. They had a good laugh and assured me it wasn't the weirdest thing they'd seen. Honestly, I needed the laugh too, but it was still hella embarrassing. Once that was over, my car was towed to a wrecker yard to be held until I collected my stuff from it. My mom insisted on helping me, and I didn't want to hurt her feelings by saying no, so I let her come and quickly bagged all the sex stuff before she even got out of the car. Crisis averted. Although everyone at that wrecker yard 100% saw it. A couple weeks later, my mom was helping me unpack my stuff from the move and she grabbed a bag of stuff that had been in my car. I didn't think anything of it. I was busy. All of a sudden she says she found a dog collar and starts explaining that it must be one of her dogs because she's missing one. But stops her sentence short and I immediately knew what happened. I look over and she's holding the chain part of a ball gag with nipple clamps attached to it. Thank God she put the bag down and moved on. And that's the story of how 4 police officers, a bunch of salvage yard workers and my good Christian mother found out I'm a sexual deviant. **EDITING. Because everyone is curious. I was rear-ended because it was very dark and as I was merging from another highway up a hill, I saw a person on the other side of the hill standing in the middle of my lane who turned out to be a homeless man who was very much on drugs. I stopped just in time to not hit him, but he wouldn't move from in front of my car, so I had to sit there until he did. By the time he shuffled away and I was ready to hit the gas again, I got hit. He walked a good distance away from the wreck he caused and proceeded to stare at the guardrail until the police arrived. Then he hopped off the highway and disappeared. I've included a photo of the wreck with the man standing just above my passenger mirror under street light staring at the guardrail for your enjoyment. https://i.imga.com/4jrdive6.jpg. https i.imga.com/4jrdive6.jpg. If it makes you feel any better, I had a cop tell me that if he searched a house and didn't find sex toys, he assumed they had missed something on the search and would give it a second look. They see a lot of weird shit. Thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe for more content.